David Holder, and I'd like to welcome you to Above the Rest Outdoors, a family hunting show, primarily based around archery, but we also are going to throw in a few gun hunts. More importantly, we built this show to entertain and educate. In order to get to know us and what we're all about, we've put together a preview show. The next 12 weeks are all laid out in this one show. We're going to show you some highlights from every week. So with that being said, let's get started and take a look at week 1. This week's hunt, black bears. Sometimes the hunt is not really what the whole storyline is about. We actually captured some video that we thought was extremely important to share with people. We got bears trying to kill other bears. We got bears trying to get in the blind with us. And then we also got our friends and their reactions. And sometimes their reactions are way better than the hunt.
He's right there.
Well, Aaron's reaction is priceless. But we went on this hunt looking for big bears. And on my hunt, not only do we have big bears, lots of them. Well, I wasn't the only one covered up with bears. Karen didn't have any shortage either. Only difference was, she's sitting on the ground and she's carrying a muzzleloader. We'll be leaving Buck Paradise and en route back to our own home state of Montana, chasing turkeys. Week 3 has us hunting turkeys in the Rocky Mountains of Montana. Week 3 is full of education. Leave it to my family. Anytime that we're talking about education from mishaps, this show has got lots of it. We've got a lot of misses, we've got some kills, but more importantly, we got some tips to pass on that'll help you on your next archery turkey hunt. What I'm looking for is the tom to approach the decoy coming to the head. And when it's the right time of year, that's where they're coming. They'll come right around there. And that would have put him within 6 or 7 yards. Well, it may be fun to learn about turkeys, but it's a whole lot more fun just being there in the middle of the action.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.
One low price, plain and simple always. It's the philosophy that sets our dealership apart. Hi, I'm Jared Gandard, owner of Kalispell Toyota. Our philosophy came from you. We listened to what you liked and disliked about buying a vehicle. You'll find our best price clearly displayed on every vehicle on our lot. No back and forth, no sales gimmicks. 18 or 80, good credit or not so good. You'll get the same best price up front, in writing, every day. Best price, another reason why Kalispell Toyota is #1 in Northwest Montana.
Independent tests confirm that the pins on a black gold are 20% brighter than the next brightest bow sight. So bright that we had to use photochromatic technology to dim the pins in bright light. In low light, while the pins on other bow sights are growing dim, the pins on a black gold sight are still perfectly bright. Be the last one out of the woods at night. Get a black gold sight.
Hey, Neil Bama here from Bama Truck Sales. We are located in Choteau and Great Falls, Montana. We sell or rent almost anything you're looking for. Big trucks, trailers, and construction equipment of every shape and size. dump trucks, cattle trucks, grain and gravel trucks and trailers, loaders, graders, dozers, skid steers, rollers, and backhoes. Buy or rent it from Bauma Truck Sales. Look us up on the web at yellowiron.com.
This is high-speed footage of the Ripcord Code Red and a competitor's fall-away arrow rest. Both fall as designed, but watch what happens to each launcher arm after fall-away. Ripcord's drop-dead brake stops any launcher bounce back, while the competitor's launcher arm bounces back up into the arrow. This will affect arrow flight and broadhead accuracy. Eliminate launcher bounce back with Ripcord Code Red, the #1 fall-away rest.
Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. Week 4, we go from turkeys to turkeys, and we'll meet a new turkey, the youngest member of the Above the Rest team, my son Easton. It'll be his first hunt ever. He's going to be chasing turkeys in Nebraska with his bow and arrow.
Hold 20 a little bit. Right, okay, take your time. A little bit high, he's a little farther than 20.
No turkey show would be complete with a kid getting to hunt if mom and dad didn't get to follow him up. So after Easton gets done in Nebraska, Karen and I are going to try our luck in Idaho. Lots of turkeys over there. We think we've got it all set up. You're going to want to watch this one because we actually kill a little bit of an odd turkey on this show. As you can see, we like our turkeys close. But in Idaho, let's just say maybe I got a little too close.
We literally located birds. David drove right underneath them. Therefore, he's in a panic at this moment. But anyway, we just got set up. We had to go further away from the birds than we actually started this morning in order to get set up on them.
But no spring is complete with just turkeys. We're going back to Saskatchewan, Canada to hunt with our buddy Grant Kuipers in Buck Paradise Adventures. This time, big bears. Not only are we after big bears, we're going to throw in a beautiful color phase bear that my wife shoots with her bow. Karen's got the bear she's been looking for in her sights. Grant, our buddy from Iowa, he's going to be trying to film himself. We go back to Buck Paradise every year. We go back there because the hunts are the same. Doesn't mean we're hunting the same animal every time. What I mean by that is every year we see huge bears. Every year we see lots of bears. And in week 5, we got both. We're going to be leaving Canada and Buck Paradise Adventures, heading to Wyoming to hunt with our good buddy Jeff Seekich. When the temperatures go up, the water holes get good. But when water holes don't work so well, we've been known to do whatever it takes to kill antelope. And in this particular instance, I actually convinced Warren that he needed to put on an antelope suit and run around outside our blind. Well, I don't know if he's going to kill an antelope, but it sure is fun watching him in that suit. we let Warren get out of the antelope suit and get back behind his bow. We're also going to jump in a blind with a good buddy of ours, Jim Brennan, see if he can put an arrow on an antelope. Funny thing is, seems like him and Warren are kind of hunting the same antelope. You'll have to tune in that week and see what I'm talking about. Antelope hunting, sitting in ground blinds, it's a lot of fun. Love to do it as an archer. But more importantly, next week's show is what we truly wait for all year. We're going to be elk hunting in the Rocky Mountains. We'll be elk hunting in Montana, and we'll be back in Wyoming. But we're going to start off hunting in Montana. My son Warren and his friend Kylie are elk hunting up until they run into a bear. Then the elk hunt turns into a bear hunt. Get done following the adventures or misadventures of Warren and Kylie in Montana, we're going to set our sights on Wyoming. And my buddy Waylon's running the camera, and he and I have found some elk. Before we can even do any hunting in Wyoming, we needed to show you some of the things we ran into while we were on our scouting trip. When we headed to Wyoming in August to do some scouting, never dreamed that we'd run into wolves and grizzlies. As you can tell, hunting the Rocky Mountains for elk, we love it. But we have another passion, and that is sitting in a tree stand on the river bottoms of Montana. It doesn't get any better than that. Only reason that it might get any better is because we're going to be with my son Warren. Never killed a whitetail. He's going to see if he can get it done. I think he's 13 years old on this hunt. After we follow Warren, see if he can get his arrow where he's supposed to, we're going to let the cameraman get out from behind the camera, see if he can kill a deer. Yeah, we're going to be hunting with our buddy Don and see, we'll just see what kind of bucks Don gets close to. You got to see this deer. To this day, I've still never had a deer come from this far, at least none that I knew of. We can actually see this buck way across this field, and when I touch the horns, he's coming. From the river bottom whitetails to the flat, arid ground of Arizona. But I have drawn a special Arizona elk tag. Next week's show, we're going to be following me. And I don't know what to tell you other than it rained every day. So this show is, if nothing else, it's worth watching just to see the chaos it takes to kill an elk. The chaos I'm referring to, not only just the rain that they hadn't seen in 3 months in Arizona, and now it's raining every day, but it also seemed to be raining hunters, hikers, you name it. We were running into all kinds of obstacles on this hunt.
So, no more rain. That's a good thing. All right. It's typical Arizona. We have a big bull located, and it rains every day in Arizona, or at least when David Holder is in town, which it's doing right now. But when bulls are bugling and you are off from your normal job, it means you chase elk regardless of the weather.
Even with all the chaos and all the obstacles, we were still seeing elk. Only problem was, we were having a tough time getting an arrow in one of them.
Sleep better for less during the 4th of July sales event at Sleep City. Hi, I'm Jennifer Hagan. Recharge your body with the new Beautyrest mattress set. Choose from True Energy, Comfortpedic Loft, or the new Beautyrest Black Beyond. And get 2 free memory foam pillows and free recharge temperature controlling sheets. Start living your life fully charged on a new mattress from Sleep City.
Improving America's sleep. Sleep City.
I always took my quiver off.
I always took my quiver off.
I used to hunt with my quiver off.
Why do so many bow hunters detach their quivers? To avoid accuracy-affecting torque. Tight Spot is the first low-torque quiver. It fits tight to your bow, is extremely lightweight, and means virtually no torque.
Now, I hunt with my Tight Spot quiver on. It acts as a stabilizer.
You'll shoot better with your Tight Spot quiver on than you ever did with your old quiver off.
Tight Spot, the quiver that fits tight to your bow.
One low price, plain and simple always. It's the philosophy that sets our dealership apart. Hi, I'm Jared Gandard, owner of Kalispell Toyota. Our philosophy came from you. We listened to what you liked and disliked about buying a vehicle. You'll find our best price clearly displayed on every vehicle on our lot. No back and forth, no sales gimmicks. 18 or 80, good credit or not so good. You'll get the same best price up front, in writing, every day. Best price, another reason why Kalispell Toyota is #1 in Northwest Montana.
Above the Rest Outdoors is brought to you by these fine sponsors. From Arizona elk to the Midwest, no show would be complete if you didn't have at least one episode about hunting the big bucks in the Midwest. And Illinois has some of the biggest. We were fortunate enough to get to go down there and chase some of these whitetails around. The thing that makes this so cool for me was I was hunting with a good buddy that I hadn't seen in several years, and we're hunting on another friend of ours, Nick and Rick Ingles' place, and they have got the bucks. Bucks like this in the woods, timing is crucial. Looks like we timed the rut just right, because we got bucks chasing does everywhere this year. When the rut's going full bore, pick the right tree and hang on. Usually it pays off. Well, we're leaving the big bucks in Illinois, and we're pedaling our way through Montana. And what I mean is, we've broken out the mountain bikes to get back into some areas that hold a lot of elk. So next week's show is a little different because it's long ways off the road, and we're using not trail bikes, but mountain bikes to get back to these elk. But boy, when we find them, it is truly amazing. We're going to be following Warren trying to kill his first elk ever. And Warren is having a tough time, but we've got some elk on the way. When we get done with Warren's hunt, I pedaled my way back in also, and now this time I'm in front of the camera, and the big bulls are still there. Well, we're done in the mountains, and Karen has decided I don't want to say it's easier because it's not an easier place, but it's definitely not the mountainous terrain. We're going to be in the breaks type country of Montana, as Karen's also going to be chasing elk this week. And only thing I can tell you is this is an elk worth seeing. From Montana to Canada, eh? Yeah, we're going to be heading back up with Buck Paradise Adventures, only this time we're not going in the spring. We're going in the Arctic weather, I guess you'd call it, because it's the last week of November, first week of December, and Karen and I are going to be climbing into ground blinds and trying to get within 30 yards of a white-tailed deer. I'm going to be trying to kill one with my bow. She's going to be trying to do it with a muzzleloader. Only thing I can tell you is cold. That's what this whole show is about, is cold. Well, maybe the whole show is not about cold. There are a few big deer in Canada, and a few of them were nice enough to stand in front of the camera. From big deer to a big deal. Our last week's show is pretty sentimental to Karen and I and all of us here at Above the Rest. It's all about our boys. It's not just about how they hunt or what they've accomplished. It's also how they've learned to be cameramen and where they've come. So it's a look back at where they started as young hunters. Warren started when he was 12 and he's now 16. Easton, who's only 12, been running a camera since he was 8. So we've got a little bit of all of that. It should provide for quite a few laughs because they're not always good at 8 years old at running a camera. But it also shows some accomplishment, and it shows kind of what Above the Rest is all about and how our family is all in and dedicated to what we're doing. Thanks for joining us on this journey. We've had a blast putting it together for you. Only thing that we ask is that hopefully you'll join us next week as we start diving into these different hunts. Thanks for watching us, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
The hex on one and smoked him.
He really doesn't need to smell my hat, does he?
Hex Stealth Screen, scientifically changing the way hunters stay undetected.
If you're a hunter, you're part of a great legacy of conservation leadership. I'm Craig Morgan, and I'm inviting you to help me carry our legacy one step further. Join and support the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, a conservation unit for hunters and people who care about wildlife, wild places, and outdoor adventure. So join us. Here's how.